Greetings, my empire. Drazu here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my setup for Stamina Dragonknight that I'm going to be using for update 33. Update 33 is something I've been looking into a lot, looking in patch notes, looking at videos, etc., etc. And I feel like I got a good grasp on things, and I could start, you know, basically pre-building for the update. Now, what I like to do before a big update like this comes out is I like to make a couple of builds that will I feel like will be really good for the update. Some of my specs, I have 9 characters. I like to at least make like 3 of those characters ready for the update, so when the update does actually come out, I'm just ready for PvP. So today I'm going to be showing you my Stamina Dragonknight build. This is the setup I'm going to be running for update 33. It's nothing too crazy in the fact of I'm not going to be using any like lashes or burning embers and stuff like that. But with the update healing changes, I am going to be utilizing a lot of DK magical heals. But we're going to get into that once we get into the build. Now, before we get into the build, you already know I want to ask y'all to hit the like button, subscribe, join the empire. You already know, helps me out, helps the channel out, and helps the channel grow. And without further ado, let's get into the build. So, first, you already know we always go to the character sheet. This is the character sheet right now. I'm going to tell you the unbuffed stats. So, we have 14k maximum magicka, 604 magicka recovery. Now this might seem, 14k is not bad. I probably want to push that up to 15 a little bit, but the recoveries might seem bad on a stam DK spec, but you got to remember we do run tripods, and a DK in general gets a lot of their resources back from just using their abilities in combat. So and heavy armor constitution is going to give us our resources back as well. So even though the recoveries is low, we're going to have enough magicka to do what we need to do with our abilities. We have 30k maximum health. I'm going to tell you why the health is a little bit higher once we get to the abilities. 30k maximum stamina, 1185 stamina recovery. Now you might really be like looking sideways like, yeah, that's really low. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you why we have it this low. It's a particular ability that we're running. Why I feel like we can run stamina. Well, you can run stamina recovery this low on this build. 4k weapon damage unbuffed, 7,000 penetration. Going to the back bar, unbuff back bar resistances. We have 22k spell resistance and 22k physical resistance with 2,188 critical resistance. This might seem high, a little bit high. If you feel like you don't know, because I've been going through changes as well with critical resistance to where sometimes I invest into it and sometimes I don't. I'll tell you how you can change up the build if you don't want to invest into too much crit resistance. But I want to be safe and see how crit is working in the update before I stop investing into it. So if a lot of people running crit builds are out for the new update, so I'm gonna keep the crit resistance, but once we get into sets, I'm gonna show you how you can change that. Now, buff stats. First, buff resistances, we have 28,000 spell resistance and 28,000 physical resistance. Buff damage, this is going to be our buff damage, so we're going to have to use another ability. Let's use this because we can't proc petrify on this big guy right here. So buff. Actually, I should have did this a whole completely different way. Let's try it like this. Right. I'm still doing it the wrong way. Hold on. One more time. Give me one more chance. Alright, damn. Alright. buff weapon damage 5,800. You know, with weapon damage enchantment, without weapon damage enchantment, it's 5,417. Um, and yeah, you feel me? That's buff weapon damage. Now, and just to show you, you know, the recoveries buff, just to so you won't be scared. This is our recoveries. We're sitting at 1,678, and that's without potions. And I feel like that's pretty good. But we're gonna really get more into that once we get into the abilities and stuff like that. So attributes, we have 64 into stamina. Uh, for our race, we are running Orc. I like Orc because they get natural movement speed, and their passives, they get weapon damage. Um, they're a good, solid, bulky, damaging class. You know what I'm saying? Um, Orc is. I feel like Orc for Stem DK is like the best race for it. Second, probably Nord. Third, probably you know, third. Actually, I'll put maybe Wood Elf at third. Wood Elf. Wood Elf might be third. I don't know, but definitely the top two spots is Nord and Orc. So yeah, I'm running Orc. For the food, we running lava foot soup and Soltris just for the max stamina. You know, resource sustain gives us 4,500 max stamina and 451 stamina recovery. For the boon, we are running the warrior. Now, if you feel like you really need you know, more resources or more stamina recovery than what we have peaked on this build, then you could change this to the serpent to get more stamina recovery. I feel like we don't need it, especially on the DK. Like I said, we have a lot of offensive sustain, and with abilities, we get our stamina recovery up to 1,600, which is a fairly good amount on DK. Actually, a really good amount on DK. Actually, above average on a lot of DK setups. All right, getting into the gear. First, let me show you how the potions. Potions, we are running, like I said, try. You know, try potions. You know, gives us all the resources, gives us everything we need: stamina, magicka, and health, and the recoveries for all of those. Um, if you want to use S's lingering, I've been playing around with these for a little bit. Uh, with this build, you're probably not going to be, you know, need to use these, but in certain situations, if you're looking at your, you know, what's I'll explain it once we get to the set. It's really something I need to explain. But in certain situations, these do come in handy. Um, yeah. So let's get into the set. So front bar set, I'm running Vaestria Maul for the weapon set. I have weapon damage enchantment sharpened. Uh, then a frenzy momentum, we already know. While momentum is active, casting a stamina ability in combat generates a stack of frenzy momentum for 20 seconds, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 30 up to 10 times. So I could just go ask Siri right here. What's 30 times 10? Wait, I think spell up to 30, up to 10 times. Yeah, yeah. 300, 300, right? Listen, it gives you a good amount of listen, it gives you a good amount of weapon and spell damage, but Siri just said 300. I don't know if it's 300, but it might be. You know what I'm saying? Um, then after 5 stacks, 5 or more stacks, your next heavy attacks consumes all of it. Then you do basically after you get 5 or more stacks, you when you do a heavy attack, you get an AOE heavy attack that does physical damage to people in 8 meters. The heavy attack is actually really good, and in PvP with this set, I've actually executed a lot of people with that heavy attack. Like just did the heavy attack, it did a lot of damage. Then just, you know, use something like you know, execution and then finish them off. So the heavy attack does really good, but you want to time it right to where, you know, the person is really, you know, are really about to die. But most of the time, you want to keep the stacks of momentum up in a fight just for the weapon damage buff in general. Back bar set, we are running Daedric Trickery. Now, Daedric Trickery is a set that I really, uh, have come to like. This past update, I feel like it's really, really good on DKs. Um, we have the sword with defending. We have the shield with the max stamina enchantment and reinforce. We run poisons. You could run whatever you want. If you don't want to run poisons, you want to run, uh, you know, weapon enchantment. You could go run a weapon enchantment. I like to run poisons. You could run the drain poisons, the one that nerfs people's healing, that puts like minor maim on people and stuff like that. You can run whatever poisons you want. I'll run the double dot poisons, just so if I'm heavy, if I light attack and I actually do get my poison off on the back bar, it's a good poison tick on the enemy. Like I said, Daedric Trickery is a set that I really started to like. What Daedric Trickery does is uh, it gives you a line of max health, a line of max stamina, a line of maximum magicka, and when you deal damage, you gain one of 5 major buffs for 21 seconds every 9 seconds. The eligible buffs are Expedition, Protections, Mending, Heroism, and Vitality. These buffs, pretty much each one of these buffs is gonna do you good in PvP, um, and it's really gonna help you out in a lot of situations. The only buff I wish that wasn't here, kinda, is the Expedition. Um, but the Expedition does help in certain situations. But that's pretty much the only buff I feel like uh, you know should have been something else. But for the most part, you're gonna have two of these buffs active at the same time. You're gonna have protection and mini active at the same time for like 9 seconds, or heroism, vitality, or expedition and heroism. So all of these buffs pretty much is gonna do you really, really good. The thing about the what I wanted to explain about the essence of lingering is, if if you're not getting vitality from this and you have something like mending and protections, then you actually use this and stack vitality on it. You're basically going to be unkillable. You're going to have like unstoppable healing when you stack the vitality with you know the major mending from Daedric Trickery. But that's only if Daedric Trickery is not giving you the vitality buff already. um For the body sets, I'm running Plague Doctor. Uh, I'm in 5 heavy, 2 medium, uh, multi-effect enchantments are all the big pieces. So chest, head, chest, and legs, and then the rest of the little pieces you just run the maximum stamina enchantment. But yeah, I'm running Plague Doctor and Pin on all the gear. Now, like I said in the stats, if you feel like I have too much critical resistance, because like I said, I've been playing around with critical resistance, and a lot of my builds, I don't run a lot of N pin on gear. Uh, but I just want to play it safe for the new update. But if you don't want to run a lot of crit resistance, then I say you make 5 of your pieces either reinforced, divine, whatever you want, and leave at least 2 of them M pin, just to get a little bit amount of crit resistance. But if you don't want a lot of M pin, then you could turn 5 of these into like I said, reinforced divine. So what Plague Doctor gives you is, Plague Doctor gives you a lot of maximum health, another line of maximum health, another line of maximum health, and the fifth piece gives you 2,706 maximum health. Now, the reason we're running Plague Doctor is a lot now in PvP, and I feel like it's still going to be the same in Update 33. Is a lot of people are running Mangle, which basically reduces your max health. So I've become accustomed to running like close to 30k health. So when I do get hit with Mangle and stuff like that, I go down to like to 27 or 26 or something like that. So uh, yeah, I like Plague Doctor. It just gives you a nice amount of maximum health, and it gets me to the quota I want. It got me to the quota I wanted on health, which was 30k. Um, and yeah, you feel me? That's why I ran Plague Doctor. Um, And there is another reason I'm running Plague Doctor as well, but I'm gonna get into that once I get into the abilities. But yeah, people are running minor, Mangle, you know, so I wanna, I want a nice amount of maximum health. We are running one piece baller. You could put anything you want here. If you want to put a trainee piece here, you can. You can put any monster set piece you want, whatever anything that gives you a stat in the one piece. Uh, I'm running Balrog just for the extra weapon damage. Um, you could run something for resistances here if you want. You could run something for stamina recovery here if you want. I like the extra damage. And like I said, 5 heavy, 2 medium, multi-effect enchantment on the big pieces, and just stamina enchantments on the little pieces. To get into the jewelry, we have, uh, a ring of danger trickery. We have weapon damage on all our jewelry as the enchantment, and bloodthirsty on the as the trait. So as our opponent's health is getting lower, our weapon damage goes way up. You know what I'm saying? Basically to the point where they're at like when they're at like 25% health, it's so easy to execute them since we have bloodthirsty or all our jewelry. Necklace of Daedric Trickery, we have a Ring of Plague Doctor, and we are running Malakav's Band of Brutality. This is, I feel like, is a must on DK in my personal opinion. If you're not running like a specifically crit setup on DK, for some reason, if you actually, I'm saying for some reason, crit setups on DK is actually really good when you're running a tick build. But if you're not running a setup like that, I feel like Malakav is a must. It increases your damage done by 16%, but decreases your critical damage done by 50%, which basically nothing, because if you look at our stats, we only have 11% crit chance, so we're not critting to begin with. So them decreasing our crit damage by 50% is basically nothing. Now, let's get into the abilities now that we're done with the sets. So on the front bar first, we are running Executioner. Executioner is going to be our Execute. It does amazing damage. It does 400% more damage to people with less than 50% health. This paired with Bloodthirsty is absolutely ridiculous, and it's going to be pretty easy to get people up out the way since you're doing so much damage to them. Next we have is Rally. Rally is going to be our source of major brutality, minor endurance, and it's going to give us a burst heal. It's going to, at that, when you activate the ability every 1 second, the heal is increased. The heal is going to be increased by 50%, then up to a maximum of 300%. So if we let Rally just, go its full duration, we're going to get a heal that is getting boosted by 300%, which is really good. A lot of people like running for momentum. I like running Rally, and I have an ability that I'm running on this build already that kind of you know makes it so we don't need forward momentum. I rather the Rally burst heal, especially how I have my DK set up with Danger Trickery and all of that. When I have those healing bucks active, then I use the Rally heal. It's a really fat heal that's gonna just take me back to max health easily. So yeah, that's why I'm running Rally. Uh, we have Wrecking Blow. Now this is something I personally started using on DK a while back, paired with another ability that I'm running on the back bar. But I really do like Wrecking Blow. I'm not running Dizzying Swing anymore because I don't need the stun and the off balance from Dizzying Swing. But Wrecking Blow is actually a really good spammable. It does a lot of damage when you use it, and it also gives you that empowering for 3 seconds. That's going to increase the damage of your light and heavy attacks for 40 by 40%. So when you're using Wrecking Blow, you just use it. You could use it like that, or you could just use it how I use it when I just do like this, do a little light attack, use it again, just to get those light attacks in. After every Wrecking Blow, those light attacks is going to be increased by 40%. and you're gonna just be doing a lot of damage with the wrecking blow ability in general. I like running it. I like it as a spammable. Um, and yeah. Next we have Venomous Claw. Venomous Claw is gonna be a dot for us. It's gonna be a 14-second dot. Um, and that's gonna do more damage. It says the poison seeps into the target and deals increased damage. The longer it lasts, deal 20% more damage every 2 seconds. So as this poison lasts on, the target is gonna keep doing more and more damage. DKs have access to one of the best dots, and some of the best dots in their class abilities, and it does get boosted by combustion. Increases the damage of your burning and poison status effect by 50%. It's gonna get boosted by that. So Venomous Claw is going to actually do ridiculous damage. And paired with Noxious Breath, which is going to be another poison, that's going to do poison damage and poison damage over 14 seconds. And this is going to be our source of major breach on our enemies. That's going to reduce their resistances close to 6,000. So these paired up together is going to do an obnoxious amount of poison damage and just shred people's health. This is like, it's gonna do a lot. You know what I'm saying? People's gonna have to, heal from this. They're gonna have to back up and, sustain themselves because just how much the damage is doing. For our ultimate ability, we have Take Flight. Now, I don't like Take Flight, and the reason I don't like Take Flight is not because it's a bad ultimate. I don't like Take Flight because it is glitched. I thought they fixed the glitch. The glitch is not fixed. It doesn't work in Imperial City for most of the time, and a lot of the time, I'm forced to run something like, where is it at? I'm forced to run something like Dawnbreaker a lot of the time because my Take Flight is not working. So I have to run Dawnbreaker Smiting, which is, kind of a worse ult for to me, kind of a worse ult than Take Flight on a DK. But I have to run the inferior ultimate just because my ultimate is not working in Imperial City for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why the devs haven't fixed this yet. This is like, it is actually a big problem how an ability just straight up doesn't work. That's actually a big problem that they really do need to fix. But Take Flight as an ultimate is really good when it does work. If there's a lot of damage, you can see just on buff. No, I don't like to read out the damage to abilities because damage, that number does change a lot in PvP. But just looking at it on buff, nothing, it does 20k damage. That's gonna go up with all the buffs and bloodthirsty and all the things of that nature. All enemies in the area is gonna knock back all enemies in the area and stun them for 2 seconds. So not only does this does amazing damage, but it has a lot of area CC as well, which is really good when you're getting jumping and you're 1vxing. As a DK, you get a lot of your resources back from using your ultimate, and I'm saying you're gonna be good when you use this. So yeah, Take Flight, really good ultimate, running it on the front bar, but doesn't work a lot of the time. So yeah. Back bar, we are running Resolving Vigor for the first ability. Resolving Vigor is going to be our tick heal. Does a nice amount of healing over 4 seconds. Yeah, what can I say? A really good tick heal. Next ability we are running is Race Against Time. Now, Race Against Time, this is the reason why we are not running Forward Momentum. We are running Race Against Time. This is going to give us Major Expedition, and this is going to give us when we activate this is going to remove all smears and immobilizations from you and grant you immunity for them for 2 seconds. And we don't really care about the minor force because we're not going to be critting. Now, we do get Major Expedition randomly from Data Trickery, but I like to run Race Against Time because first it gives us, like I said, removes all snares and immobilizations, and it gives us, it's a definite source of Major Expedition. So if our Data Trickery is not giving us Major Expedition, we could run this, and this is going to definitely give us Major Expedition, make us be faster. I like to be faster in certain situations, especially if I'm getting jumped and stuff like that. So I like to run Race Against Time. if you're not in Imperial City or Citadel or something, or you're dueling, or you know you're not trying to be fast in a BG, you could run Heroic Slash. Um, yeah, Heroic Slash is a really good ability. It puts minor maim on people, that reducing their damage by 5%. And you also get minor heroism as well. That gives you one ultimate every 1.5 seconds. So it's gonna give you your ultimate back really, really fast. Um, and yeah, you feel me? Next ability we are running is Petrify. Um, Now for update 33, I'm really gonna be I might start using Shattering Rocks instead of Fossilized, because Shattering Rocks is gonna give us a heal, and that heal is gonna be scaled to our weapon damage. Um, when update 33 come out, so we're actually gonna get a really, really good heal from Shattering Rocks. But for right now, I'm running Fossilized. And until update 33 comes out, I'm gonna be running Fossilized. Fossilized, uh, you know, it's gonna stun. It's gonna put a mobilization on the target, and it's gonna do a little bit of magic damage. That's now gonna scale to our weapon damage now, so it's gonna be doing a little bit more damage. So this is a really good stun. I think this is one of the best stuns in the game because it's unblockable and it just does so much, and it puts people in situations where they die. And this really pairs good with not only Heroic Slash. When you stun, you can stun people, then do Heroic Slash, and get your easy Heroic Slash off. But you can stun people and start wrecking, blowing them. Doing that, get the light attack. You're gonna be doing a lot of damage, plus with the poisons up as well. And this ability does pressure stamina a lot, because they have to break free, and then they have to roll dodge, because they're going to be rooted as well. So this does pressure stamina a lot. So I do like Fossilized, but like I said, in update 33, I'm probably going to be running Shattering Rocks for the heal. Next ability we have is Green Dragon Blood. This is another ability that I'm really looking forward to using in update 33, and that I even use now in this update, even though that the healing ability change is not here. This ability is still really good. It still gives you a decent heal, and plus all the stats it gives you when you use this ability. This gives you major fortitude, major endurance, minor vitality, and all those buffs is just really, really good on a DK. Except probably the major endurance does something. What I'm saying, does a little something. Even though health recovery is trash, does a little something. And none of these buffs really conflict with the buffs we get with Danger Trickery. As you can see, that says minor vitality, not major, so it does not conflict with Danger Trickery. It actually stacks with it. Then the major endurance we get is really, really good. That's why our stamina recovery is so low base, because when we use this ability, we're going to get major endurance pretty much a lot of the time. So our stamina recovery is going to be high. Proc with minor endurance, we're going to get 1678. Now when update 33 does come out, this ability is going to get a crazy buff. Now a lot of people is going to be running Colag instead of Green Dragon Blood. Me personally, I'm going to stick with Green Dragon Blood, because even though Colag is probably going to heal us for a lot more, Green Dragon Blood is going to give us the major endurance, which is a buff that I really, really like, and I feel like it's really going to help me out in this build in terms of stamina recovery. So I do like Green Dragon Blood, and this is still this. Don't get me wrong. This ability is still gonna get buffed as well. You're still gonna get more healing from Green Dragon Blood, and you're basically gonna be unkillable. You know what I'm saying? Because the percentage heal is crazy, and that's why I'm running a higher amount of health on this build, 30k health, because we have a percentage heal now. So we could get that health back up, ridiculously fast, where we, taking a lot of damage. If we get to like 15% health, we pop this, get back to like 80% health. Our 80% health is probably like close to 28k, 27k, which is a really, really good amount. So that's why we are running Green Dragon Blood. Next, we have Volatile Armor. Volatile Armor, this is gonna ability that's actually gonna get buffed, on DK. this ability will now be this first of all, this is going to be our source and major resolve. That's going to increase our physical spell resistance by 6,000. But the spikes that you spray, the AoE spikes that does magic damage over 10 seconds, this now will scale with physical and spell resistance instead of spell damage with match magica. So since we have a decent amount of physical spell resistance on this build, this ability is actually going to do a pretty good amount of damage, and the damage return is going to be a good amount of damage as well. So yeah, this ability is actually going to be getting buffed for stamina decay. We're going to see a lot of more damage from this just because of what it scales with now. For our ultimate, we are running Temple Guard. We really run this for the minor protection while at all times when we on the back bar. But this is a really good kiting ult as well when you're getting pressured. If you get a lot of you know a lot of damage towards you, or if you get bombed, if that's still a thing, if bombing is still a thing, if you get bombed really bad for some reason, which is probably not gonna happen, but if you just take a lot of damage, reset time, get back to where you was, and you'll be good. You could run other ultimates like magma armor. You could run the morph of it. I don't know the name of the morph because I personally don't run it too much, but you can run that, or you can run sword and shield, and you can run spell wall. But I personally just run temple guard most of the time. Yeah, and that's enough for that's it with our abilities. As you can see, our abilities is not too crazy. Like I said, I wasn't gonna go too crazy. Really, the thing that I'm really gonna take away from this update is the magical heals. Really, with green dragon blood getting buffed, and shattering rocks is gonna give us a heal. We might even, instead of using heroic slash outside of open world PvP, you could even use cauterize as well and get a really get heals from that as well. But I'm not doing nothing like running burning embers or flame lash or stuff like that. I know it's kind of a different DK setup than what most DKs is running right now, but it's a setup that works. You know what I'm saying? It works for me. I like to run it. Wrecking Blow does good for me. Venomous Claw does really good for me. All these do good for me. I don't feel like I need to, have hybrid, magicka, like a decent amount of magicka to, like a really good amount of magicka to sustain abilities like Flame Lash and Burning Embers and stuff like that. I feel like the setup I have is, has enough healing, has enough damage, and has enough tankiness as it is without running those abilities. Now, getting into CPs first, let's go into the blue tree. So for the blue tree, for the main CPs I have Master Our Arms to increase our damage, our direct damage by 10%. I have Deadly Aim to increase our single target damage by 10%. Wrathful Strikes to increase our ability damage by 165, our weapon and spell damage, and Untamed Aggression to increase our weapon and spell damage by 150. For the red tree, I'm running Sustained by Suffering. While we have a negative debuff, we get 150 magicka health and stamina recovery. So our stamina recovery does go up even more from 1,600 when we have a negative effect on us. We have Juggernaut, which will while under the effect of a crowd control immunity, you take 1% less damage per stage. If it is a 5% reduction. I have Rejuvenation. Now you can replace Rejuvenation whatever you want. If you want to replace Rejuvenation with Pain's Refuge or whatever, I don't suggest I can't say it, relentlessness, because we do get the major protection buff in our gear. So if you still want to run it, because a lot of the cases data trickery is not gonna have you're not gonna have major protection from data trickery, and you're gonna still get stunned. So you can still take from this, but you can run anything. You can replace Rejuvenation with a lot of things. You can even put stuff into maximum health, even more maximum health if you want. I'm just running Rejuvenation because I wanted the extra recoveries, but you could replace it. And I'm running Fortified for the extra armor, just to have us more tankier. And you already know the green tree doesn't matter. If you want to run what I'm running on the green tree, you can. Green tree doesn't really matter. And that's pretty much the build. That's pretty much the setup that I'm gonna be running for update 33. Uh, Nothing too crazy. Something I'm familiar with. Really, the healing is gonna be what mainly is gonna change. Kolag, Shattering Rock is gonna give us amazing heals now. Um, and yeah, you feel me? I can't wait to see how and don't get me wrong, this build still is gonna do good this update as well. Don't get me wrong, you can still use this build in this update. I tested it out on this update, not in Imperial City, but I tried to test this out in Imperial City. Didn't work well. I had to go to Cyrodiil and test the build out. Gameplay coming soon for the build. Gameplay probably is gonna come tomorrow for this build, and yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. If y'all did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, join the Empire, and that's pretty much it. Dragonknight Empire out. I'm gonna see